Antifa police school shooting plot. This incident could have been prevented by the FBI if they were not too busy running errands for the Democrat Party and the Clinton News Network CNN. An Antifa brought a loaded gun to his school and shot at police who fired back, killing him. What you're seeing is video from January 11th, which was released on January 24th. He had extra ammunition in his pocket and in his backpack. Who knows who he might have killed, but he did post on a local police department's Facebook page about killing cops. Local media reported on the incident, but not that this man was Antifa, as I will demonstrate in this video. Now, we have a patriot known as Andrew to thank for this information. Mohalika AWA on YouTube. Scroll down, see that first link below, and by the way, he's already put out a video about this. He's the one that told me about this, but he did his own video about this, and I highly recommend that. Scroll down and see that link below. Andrew is an accomplished martial artist. He even teaches martial arts. He opposes Antifa on the streets and does a lot behind the scenes as well. I can't tell you how many times he sent me useful information. You heard it from Andrew first because he's already made the video about this. He has a whole story about what he sacrificed fighting Antifa that I hope that he'll tell in a future video. See the second link in the description below for a webpage version of this video with all the citations, the links, videos, and other evidence to support each and every fact stated. Now, in this video, I am relaying various reports from other media sources and just showing you research that I and Andrew have done. I do not know, and I'm not claiming that all the information from these news reports are accurate. In the webpage version of this video, there's a lot more information than I'm going to put in this video because it would just be too long. On January 11th, a police officer shot and killed Charles Frederick Landeros, 30 or 31 depending, at Cascade Middle School, Eugene, Oregon. Police report that they were responding to, quote, a custodial dispute involving an adult male, unquote, at the school, and that, quote, as officers were escorting the male from the school, he produced a firearm, and a struggle ensued. During the struggle, the subject was shot by police and is now deceased, unquote. You can't actually see that happen in the video, folks. Now, again, the point of this video is that we have a case of an Antifa gun nut who's part of a group of Antifa gun nuts who's in two different organizations that are, by Antifa's definition, Antifa. So folks, I've given you links to a lot of different local media reports about this incident. Like I said, they're not mentioning that he is Antifa, but they're all based mostly or entirely on this report from the Lane County District Attorney, Patricia W. Perlow, from August 24th, 2019, the day that this video was released. The police video was released. And it does have a lot of information. You can go through it all, but I want to call to your attention where it says, January 9, 2018 at 8:20 p.m., Springfield Police Department was sent a screenshot of a Facebook posting in response to a story posted by KEZI. KEZI had posted a news article titled, Man Killed by Portland Police Was Legally Blind, Family Says. There were numerous comments posted. One comment was posted by Charles Landeros and read, Time to start killing pigs. The manager of SPD's Facebook page thanked the person for making them aware of the post. The person replied indicating that the Facebook profile identified as Charles Landeros regularly made statements about killing cops. January 11th, 2019, about an hour before the incident at the Cascade Middle School, that's where this incident took place, SPD received another message from a different person that Charles Landeros had posted something on the Springfield Facebook page. The morning of January 11th, SPD's manager of their Facebook page had posted a story about a Davis, California Police Department officer who was shot and killed while investigating a traffic crash. The person stated that Charles Landeros commented death to all pigs in a comment to that Facebook posting. When the Facebook manager attempted to locate the comment, it had been removed. The SPD employee found an account for a Charlie Landeros, but it was private. Later that day, the Facebook account of Charlie Landeros had been deactivated or deleted. In 2018, the FBI received information on a tip line that Charles Landeros was posting violent anti-government messages on social media. The information was referred to the local FBI office, who concluded that there was insufficient information to substantiate that a crime had been committed. That may be, FBI, but you think maybe you would do a little bit more about it, like investigate the other people that he perhaps goes out in the woods with and shoots bullets with. You know, Antifa, Again, I've listed for you a number of different local news reports. The only one that goes into or gets close to mentioning the whole Antifa thing, they almost get it, but they don't quite get it, is this, the Daily Emerald. That's a newspaper here in Eugene. It's one of the freebies along with the Eugene Weekly. And here's Landeros right there with the megaphone. This article will say down here, Landeros was a member of Community Armed Self-Defense, a group that was created as a, quote, new liberatory and inclusive space for all oppressed peoples to learn about armed self-defense, unquote, according to the group's Facebook page, which is no longer publicly available on Facebook as of 4 p.m. Saturday, meaning the 12th, the day after the shooting. Community Armed Self-Defense's Facebook page said that they could not count on the police to protect marginalized people and that firearms help marginalized groups protect themselves. It sounds to me like they're just rationalizing having a bunch of guns as a militia so that they are ready to seize power when the revolution comes, as opposed to people who don't have guns. The thing is, even here in Eugene, there are plenty of people with guns. Not perhaps in the city itself, but just a couple, like a mile in almost any direction. And those people are not really the communist revolutionary types, believe you me. Quote, the police are not here to protect us. They are more likely to harm us themselves than they are to serve or protect us, the group wrote on their Facebook page description. It says at the bottom here, the Emerald has not yet confirmed if Landeros has a daughter attending Cascade Middle School. So as the article says, the webpage has been taken down. Indeed, if you go to Facebook and you search Community Armed Self-Defense, say click on the first link, Arm the Oppressed, Eugene, Oregon, Community Armed Self-Defense. And think about this, folks. Here are people who believe that they are oppressed and they need their guns to fight back. Okay, victimhood mentality. I'm gonna fight back with my guns. All right. And indeed, when you click on it, you get this from Wix. It's gone. Try the second one. And that one is gone as well. Let's see. The third one, A Political Philosophy of Self-Defense, reallyRacist.com. I don't know what that's about, but let's try to find out. Ah, yes, I remember this. It will try to load and it just won't load. Eventually, this is what we get. Apparently, it's a timeout. Not sure if that's just my connection, but there you go. And so on. I want to quickly point out that in this news article referring to Landeros and his fellow protesters down here, student protesters say they had a variety of grievances from quote-unquote fascist propaganda found on campus to recent tuition increases. Now, the thing is, I can almost guarantee that the propaganda wasn't for Mussolini's fascist party or Franco's Spanish fascist party either. So they're probably calling something that is not fascist, fascist. And that is characteristic of Antifa. Not saying that only Antifa does that, but it certainly leans in that direction. Okay, folks, so you can see here links to local media accounts of this thing. They won't tell you that it's Antifa, but this one comes close. They almost get it. Police Union, CLDC, respond after DA officer involved shooting report. On the CLDC Facebook page, you can see, amongst other things, this legal observer training. Notice the green hat. And if you know, there are green hat wearing people that go to these Antifa events. Some of them are NLG. Not all of them are NLG. NLG is National Lawyers Guild, by the way. Here is a memorandum for Landeros on the CLDC website. Now, folks, it's important to remember that Antifa defines themselves not as members of any official group, but as those who engage in what they call anti-fascist action. And that means protesting, damaging, attacking, plotting against, sabotaging, doxing, and other actions against people that they call fascist, who are almost never fascist. You can see here on the Facebook page for the Civil Liberties Defense Center, in their post about, one of their posts about Landeros, it says, our community is shocked and grieving over the death of a CLDC volunteer who was shot and killed by Eugene Police Department today in front of their daughter's middle school. Notice they say he is a volunteer of CLDC. Also on the CLDC website is this picture here of Landeros, but I want to point out that if you look at the Civil Liberties Defense Center website, it doesn't take long before you see Antifa stuff. You may want to look into social media accounts of people who are associated with this website, and we'll come back to that. We don't have time to go into all this, but you can see this stuff on the webpage that I've prepared for you, but there are a few different articles on the CLDC website about Antifa. They are pro-Antifa articles. This article, for example, kind of reads like the sort of WordPress article in which they tried to dox Tabitha and I and other people who they call fascist here in Eugene, who are certainly not fascist. I'm not saying I know all the people, but I know a few of the people, and they're definitely not fascist. Antifa is full of shit. A broken clock may tell the right time twice a day, but by the fact that they are broken. So we don't have time to go into all this, but if you read this article, it's basically just a slightly more intellectual version of what you would get from It's Going Down. It's a propaganda piece. It's accusing people of being Nazis and saying Antifa's right about them when they say they're Nazis. You know how that goes if you know Antifa. Notice that this propaganda piece is by an Aaron Grady. If we go to Aaron Grady's Facebook page, you can see works at Civil Liberties Defense Center, studied at University of Oregon, lives in Eugene, Oregon, etc. And this, by the way, has been archived, so if anyone's watching this thinking they're going to delete people from their friends list, too late, it's been archived. We can scroll down. Now, if you live in Eugene, you notice this right here. This is a familiar site. This is an Antifa thing right there, so is this right here, and so on and so forth. So my point here is this is not just a person writing about Antifa, this is someone who knows who has at least sympathies with Antifa to some extent, so there you go. We gotta move on though, folks. I might do a longer video about this, and I certainly have a woman-splaining video with Tabitha about all this, but that will be in a different video. Make sure you are subscribed to us, see that link below. Alright, again folks, we're going to scroll past a lot of information that we just don't have time in this video to go through, but you can read that yourself by seeing the link below. Now, the more I look into the CLDC, the more connections I find with them in Antifa, and I can keep looking, but we have to move on. One Eugene Antifa Facebook has a post about a benefit for Landeros' family. And I shouldn't say one Facebook page, it's actually, you'll find this on local Antifa Twitters and other Antifa Twitter accounts and Facebook accounts and Snapchats and all that kind of thing. So you can see right here, Eugene Antifa benefit for the family Charles Landeros at Lucky's Club, and that's one of two, by the way. Here's another one. Love and Rage for Charlie benefit at the Wandering Goat in Eugene, Oregon, which, by the way, Tabitha and I, we are familiar with this place. We walk past it with our dogs and whatnot. That's this place right here. You may know that if you're here in Eugene. So it's at that place, and it's this event, Love and Rage for Charlie, and you can see it is by Eugene Pirate Punks, and I think this is pretty funny. So here's the Eugene Pirate Punks Facebook page. You can see here the Antifa symbol, the iron arrows, anarchy, etc. And here's funny, Eugene Pirate Punks creating safe spaces. So wait, do you want to project that you're tough and spiky, or that you need a pillow and a binky? I mean, what's going on here? What is this? What is this weird mixture of, you know, and it's kind of like, if you remember folks, on April 15th, March 4th, and etc. in Berkeley, you'll see the pastel block walking around in pajamas in some cases and holding a teddy bear and literally sucking on a binky while, you know, pepper spraying people at the same time. It is like a toddler walking around with weapons. Now they have guns. And one of them got killed. By the way, it's very selfish, okay? It's not a good thing that that multiple children lost their father, except for to prevent perhaps who he would have killed. But it's very selfish to commit suicide by cop or whatever the hell he was doing. It's selfish. Again, folks, I want you to scroll down and click on the link to see Andrew's video about this, but here's some stuff that he told me personally. Last year, Antifa posted something about an event where a guy would get them through a government-approved CCL license course so people can have their firearms concealed. It was called Community Armed Self-Defense. They had their own page, but after Landeros was shot outside the middle school, everything was deleted. On the page I had a video, and I'm going to let Andrew tell you about this video. Here we go.
On the page, there was a link to Community Armed Self-Defense's website, and I saw a video on Facebook as well that had them shooting out in the woods, which was stupid. They had a formation of 2 guys in front and then 2 guys behind shooting. So there were people in front of them that they were shooting guns. Super dangerous and stupid. So they were LARPing like Soviet revolutionaries, like they're the Red Army, doing stupid crap like that out in the woods, and so I'm surprised none of them shot themselves. So they were starting a group to where they would have a militia that could basically fight cops. Basically, that seems to be his issue.
Now folks, community armed self-defense is not just an organization, it's a phrase, and it refers to, if you look it up, you'll find that there are, and I hate to tell you this, a lot of crazed, far-left, lunatic, revolutionary, communist, anarchist, anti-fascist types with guns. Here, check out some of this video titled Setting Sights, Histories and Reflections on Community Armed Self-Defense Book Promo.
Wide-ranging anthology uncovers the hidden histories and the ideas of community armed self-defense, exploring how it's been used by marginalized and oppressed communities, as well as anarchists and radicals within significant social movements of the 20th and 21st centuries in community armed self-defense. I hope to challenge the dominant macho culture that pervades gun culture in the United States.
The manocentric maleocracy!
Redneck Revolt, Black Lives Matter, Anti-Fascist Action UK, and North Carolina Peace Corps, by any means necessary.
If you search Community Armed Self-Defense in YouTube, you get this video right here, and notice it's about the IWW. If you've seen my recent videos, then you know a little bit about them.
General Defense Committee is the defense arm of the Industrial Workers of the World, which is a radical union, and the GDC's task is to organize for the defense of working class people.
Except that they hate the working class. These are the people that call the working class Trumpsters these days, but you know, white nationalists and etc. Toxic masculinity. By the way folks, I was handed a flyer just like this once when I was about 16 at a punk show in New York City. I read it and I was like, they seem awfully obsessed with work and boring stuff like that. I just didn't like it.
This is about solidarity amongst the entire working class.
Except that you're probably not working class and you hate the working class. These people are so funny.
When any member of the working class is under attack, you have to stand up and fight back.
Okay, now did you catch that last bit?
When any member of the working class is under attack, you have to stand up and fight back.
So it's safe to say that she doesn't actually mean that the working class are physically being attacked by the capitalists in their top hats, a la 1984 Legendary, but she does seem to be talking about using armed members of the community as a response to that attack, even though the attack is not physical. And this is par for the course with these people. If you don't know, maybe Google things like verbal violence or words are violence, maybe hate speech is not free speech, and you will see, no, this isn't satire. They really do believe these things. They really do believe that physical violence from them is an appropriate response to verbal violence from you. Just like she seems here to be suggesting that economic attacks on the working class warrants armed militias of socialist workers from factories that they don't work in.
I think of community self-defense in survivor work. I think of what networks we can build, what conversations we can have.
When I think of community self-defense, I think of Landeros. I mean, he was a hero. I'm gonna learn how to shoot a gun, but first I gotta put on about 50 pounds so I can hold it up. But I'm gonna put glitter on it, and then we're gonna have conversations about how we can overthrow capitalism with armed revolution. What? She looks like the tiny kind of girl that would wear like fake little fairy wings, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but it would certainly look fitting on this silly little thing. It's like, what are you doing, you tiny little girl? You're gonna get your head blown off. Alright, listen, you little pixie. Go put your fairy wings back on, put down the gun that you're trying to lift up.
Power of direct action.
Militant, integrated, direct action. Militant, direct action.
If one looks into Antifa social media accounts, especially Eugene Antifa, see the links below to verify this, folks. You'll see them posting about Landeros, defending him, and so on. This was a man who brought a loaded gun to his school, okay? And who knows what he really intended. It seemed like he wanted to kill a bunch of cops, but who knows? Let's recap the evidence that Landeros was Antifa. Number one, Landeros is an activist involved in the same causes as other Antifa. Two, even after the shooting video was released, the CLDC still says that Landeros was one of them. 3. The CLDC champions Antifa and champions Landeros himself. Number 4. In the news footage of the protest outside the school following the shooting, You can see here that some of the protesters have their face covered with balaclavas and cover their faces with signs when the camera is trained on them. They certainly have something to hide. That's not normal for protests, even of protests of police shootings. You don't normally see that. Number 5, local Antifa are sympathetic towards him, holding benefits and so on, as we've seen, and their social media profiles show sympathy towards him. Number 6, the promoters for the punk show for his benefit openly virtue signal that they are Antifa. Number 7, one of the news outlets reported that his fellow students were protesting fascist something or other. I forget what it is, but we saw that earlier. And so that makes them Antifa. They're calling something fascist and then taking action against it, and then they define themselves as those who partake in anti-fascist action. Antifa. That's really the only one we need, is that one right there, number 7. But number 8, the Daily Emerald, Eugene newspaper, reports, quote, Landeros was a member of Community Armed Self-Defense, a group that was created as a, quote, new liberatory and inclusive space for all oppressed peoples to learn about armed self-defense, unquote, according to the group's Facebook page, which is no longer publicly available on Facebook as of 4 p.m. Saturday, unquote. Folks, I need your help because people need to know about this, right? You agree, right? People need to know about this? Okay, so share this video and especially send it to news sources. Send it to whoever you think might cover this. Mike Cernovich, maybe? Tim Pool, etc. Thank you very much. So there you go, folks. Again, I have a lot more information about this. Tabitha has a lot to say about this, but those will have to wait for other videos. Scroll down, see those links below. And also, it is very important to know that this might be our last video, even though we know it's not against any of the rules. Alright, so folks, see our other videos about more details about this and more commentary on this. And again, thank you very much, Andrew. Everyone, see the links below. Make sure you are subscribed to our channel on BitChute, not just YouTube, because this is the sort of thing that YouTube goes after, even though it's not breaking any rules whatsoever. By the way, thank you all for helping us reach 10,000 subscribers and 2 million views this week. Thank you very much, folks. Now, I'd rather have 500 of you over on BitChute than 10,000 on YouTube, but okay, that's fine, whatever. Anyway, scroll down, see the links below. Let us know what you think about this. Thanks everyone for watching. Peace for the peaceful, tough love, equality of opportunity, not of outcome, and liberty for all. Here's my final word on this, folks. I think that we can look at this as both a microcosm and a metaphor for what would happen if collectively a bunch of Antifas tried to march on Washington with guns or something. If you replace the policemen with the National Guard or whatever authorities, and you replace Landeros with some sort of Antifa militia, and what happened to Landeros, you get the idea of what would happen. Good luck with that.